This is Doobie.
Hi, Doobie.
She's also very happy to be on the podcast today.
I am so glad. This podcast is going to be dedicated to this wonderful. Is that a girl or a boy?
She's a girl, yeah.
Yes, this wonderful girl as well, because I know she's getting some beautiful energies in the podcast here for us.
Along with not having the identity that I used to have, not having that purpose that I used to have earlier, took me to this very dark space. And it was very difficult. Like, I would even find it difficult to even get out of the bed in the morning. So it was really, basically, I took up triathlon because my husband's game takes 3-4 hours. He spent 4 hours in the golf course, and I was like, I need something to keep me busy.
Yeah. Did you start seeing this Ironman as an emotional survival technique for you? Can you say that? I agree, 100%.
And connecting with animals. It's just who we are as a species. We should be with nature and with animals, and that really helps.
I really have to do another podcast. And today we all are so happy because we are starting off with another beautiful episode of I Have Got a Vibe, a podcast where we celebrate people who choose courage over comfort and growth over fear. Today's episode is about endurance, and not just physical one, but emotional too. My guest today is Kirti Gosain. She has faced depression, rebuilt herself step by step, and today she stands as someone who has completed the Ironman, which is one of the toughest endurance races in the world. Kirti's journey isn't just about medals, it's about healing, discipline, and choosing life every single day. Kirti, welcome to the show and welcome this beautiful guest as well. What is the name? Is that a girl or a boy?
Hi, Sonakshi. Thank you so much for this amazing introduction. This is Doobie.
Hi, Doobie.
She's also very happy to be on the podcast today.
I am so glad. This podcast is going to be dedicated to this wonderful. Is that a girl or a boy?
She's a girl, yeah.
Yes, this wonderful girl as well, because I know she's getting some beautiful energies in the podcast here for us. But so yes, welcome both of you.
Thanks so much for this introduction, and thank you for having me on your podcast.
I'm so glad. It's absolutely my honor to have you on my show, Kirti. And Doobie as well. So, yes. All right, Kirti, now just, kind of moving on to this beautiful section of your life, which is the Ironman. Of course, that's all glory, that's all beauty. But, before this entire thing kind of entered your life, I know there was a phase of deep struggle. Now, can you just take us back to the time when you were battling that depression, and what did that phase look like for you internally? We're really curious to understand.
I'm sorry, I lost the last part of the question.
Okay.
Could you
I'll say that again. I'll say that again. Yeah. All right. I said before the Ironman, right? I know you were in a phase of deep struggle, and if you can just take us back to that time when you were battling depression, and what did that phase look like for you internally?
Okay, yeah, Sonakshi. So that was a real, very hard part of my life. So as soon as I got married, before I got married, I was working with NDTV. I was a reporter and an in-house reporter with them and an anchor with them. And as soon as I left and then I got married, there was this huge shift in my life where I felt that I had lost my identity. That was the feeling that I got. And that came like for me, I shifted cities. So my social circle was different. My life had changed. And when I used to look at my husband's life, I would feel that, everything is the same for him. His job is the same, his passion is the same, his house is the same, like everything is the same. And for me, everything just changed overnight. And that uh, along with not having the identity that I used to have, not having that purpose that I used to have earlier, took me to this very dark space. And it was very difficult. Like, I would even find it difficult to even get out of the bed in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really tough. And I tried medicines, I tried counseling, and I still remember having a conversation with you. Like our common friend got us in touch, and I had this conversation with you where you actually guided me through a few practices, which really did help me.
How sweet of you to acknowledge that. No, I think,
And I tried a lot of other things. I tried counseling, I was in medicines for some time. But what really helped me come out of that place was having dogs.
uh,
So I still had Scooby, and then we adopted Doobie, and
yeah,
then I
this is,
adopted Jessie. That
sorry,
was
I'm
my
just going to
third
tell
dog.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just going to tell my audience that, this is another wonderful girl that, she had. That was a girl too, right?
Yes, Jessie.
Yes, yes. Jessie, yeah, you had another.
Yes.
And so she's a pet lover, she's a dog lover, and just like me, and she's had many of them. Yeah, just wanted to let this know. Let everyone
Yes.
watching this
So I
also
had adopted Jessie from Bangalore, and she was the one who changed my life completely. Taking care of all three of them, it brought me out of the dark space that I was in. So, I had a new passion in my life, and it was not just any passion which is very materialistic. It was something that, where you give in 100%, but you receive like 500% more love.
I know.
Right.
That makes
So I had, I wanted to get up in the morning because I wanted to take them for a walk. And then I would just look at them, and Doobie and Jessie both are adopted. So I would just look at their lives and say that, they were abandoned at a point of time, and they have come into my life, and they're adding so much to my life. And then that just changed everything for me.
yeah, this is what I
And
want to ask you. Like, what was that point in your life when you started realizing that? And, going back to, sorry, before I, jump on to the next question, I completely understand, like our careers, and especially the ones which you are in love with, if they are like suddenly vanished from our lives, even if that's, because of a change like marriage, you do start to, disconnect with your own identity, and that does lead you to feel really lonely. So I completely empathize with this, because I feel like I have gone through it many a times. But I was going to ask you, like, what was that one point in your life when you really realized that something had to really change, and you could not be in that space anymore? Was there any epiphany or that moment of insight in your life when you really realized,
so
like, okay, now,
there were yeah, there were quite a few different moments, where I would suddenly realize that, what am I doing with my life? Like, I would not wake up in the morning. My husband would leave for office. He would come back, and I would still be in bed,
wow,
right? And he would try, and then, I would just keep on crying. And he was upset because he wasn't able to help me in this journey, because he couldn't understand what I'm going through.
not easy to
Somebody who's
understand.
not gone through it is not going to understand. And I realized there was a point of time when I just felt that, it's me who has to change. I
Yeah,
have to take, nobody can take that step for me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to change. And and counseling wasn't really helping me at that point of time. It did till an extent,
Till an
but
extent.
it was not helping me to 100%. That push has to come from yourself. It has to come from within yourself, that this is not going to be my story. It
Yeah,
has to
yeah,
be a little more,
yeah.
right?
Can
So,
I?
and then they were the perfect, the perfect angels that had come into my life to bring
Oh,
me out from there.
no, but Kirti, no, that's really sweet of you. I feel like, you're showing your gratitude to all the wonderful, like anyone who even contributed very mildly into your, into your life and bring you into a better position. I feel like that just shows that how much you are, you know humble towards life, and at the same time, how much do you value every single beautiful incident in your life? So, that's totally worthy of praise. But having said that, I also feel like for you to really change and realize that this is not where I belong, I feel like you must be in love with yourself. So I kind of sense, from your conversation that you truly loved yourself and you never, that's why you had that winner mentality to come out. Can I say that? Is that something you also
So
sense about
yes,
yourself?
love is there, but you have to respect yourself
Yeah, yes, of course. I mean, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah,
and the life that you're living. Like
yeah,
when I still remember when I was in college, when I was doing my post graduation, I had written down that this is where I want to be. I want to be an anchor of a national news channel. I had written it down, and that was my aim in life. I achieved it at a very young age.
yes,
And and when I left, I suddenly felt that, I have nothing.
yeah.
But
It's not
then,
easy for people to go there.
when I went into the dark space, I did. And, I would call myself at that point of time very shallow to feel that that's life. Because life is so much more, and then when I talk about my triathlon journey, I'll come to that as well. But coming back to this, I just felt that this is not it. Like if I at such a young age could understand that this is what I want to do,
Mhm.
marriage is not the end of everything. And
Correct.
a lot of us go through this. I'm going to just divert a little bit,
Yeah,
that
no,
all of us, when we are very young, we
yeah.
uh, paint a picture in our lives that marriage is going to be like this.
Deciding
And
factor. The
yeah,
deciding
deciding factor. And marriage is very,
factor.
it's glorified, that
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
going to do this, I'm going to do that. And when you enter marriage, it's nothing like what you thought marriage is going to be like, right? It's nothing like that. And
Comes
it's
with
like a
its
lot of
own challenges.
responsibility. Yeah, a lot of responsibility suddenly. And it's not just, you're not taking care of yourself, you're taking care of another person. And especially, I just felt like this huge uh, hollow place where I was like, I just lost my identity. But now looking back at it, it was very shallow of me to think that that was my identity, because your identity is so much more than just a job,
Yeah.
just a place, and just it's so much more.
Yeah, for sure. That is totally understandable. And that is where I'd ask you, like, when you started running, when you, like, of course, I'm sure it must have not started with you pursuing the triathlon, but you must have just started off with running as a healing tool, right? So, and then eventually it would have gone to a level where it ended up as winning the triathlon, the Ironman, right? So, how did that running in physical moment really first enter your life? I mean, how did you start seeing that as a healing tool? What did you experience so much so that you never, left it again?
Very interesting story.
Yeah,
Again, so I was always into physical fitness. So I was a
yeah.
national swimmer when I was in school and college. So
I'm
swimming was
sorry, I
very.
just can't. I'm going to continuously interrupt you and just have accolades and praises for this lovely girl sitting with you. I'm so much in love with dogs too. I have a wonderful dog named, I have a girl too. Her name is Sunshine and she's beautiful. Like this moment, I remember her too. I want her in the podcast too. I think we should have a,
I
lovely
think you should
girls
bring her
podcast.
up for the grab.
Yeah, I should, but I don't think she's coming there because she's down,
Okay.
enjoying with the sun and my husband. So I don't think she's going to be here right now. But okay, go ahead, please. I'm listening.
Yeah, so I was always a swimmer. Like I was a swimmer since I was a child, and I used to run. I used to run, not something as a sport, but I used to enjoy running.
Oh, you
And
did. Okay.
cycling was something that I did when I was a child. When we wanted to travel from one place to another, so we would go in our cycles. Um, when Okay, so my husband, he loves his golf. He's a golfer. And for
Okay.
everyone who knows, who has a husband who loves golf, you are a
Okay.
golf widow. And
Oh, well, that's a tough
so
term to accept. Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so he
Is
would
that
go
like a
for
lingo?
his.
Is that like a lingo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it? Okay.
So he used to go for his work in the morning. He would come back during lunch, and then he would quickly, want to go back to his passion, his love. which is golf. And then he would come back after his game in the evening. And like for me, like I'd left working, I had the
Mm-hmm.
entire day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would feel that, he's gone. He has his entire life in place, and good because, there is something that makes everyone tick. And for
Yeah,
him, it's golf that
yeah,
makes him tick, that makes him feel alive. And,
correct,
I was like, for me, it's not journalism because I had the heart to leave it and get married.
correct.
So there has to be something that makes me tick.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my school friends was posting on Instagram. He had done the Ironman 70.3. And, I looked at him and I was like, I need to get in touch with him and ask him if he's coaching anyone. And he was
Oh,
my
wow.
classmate from school.
Mm-hmm.
And he said yes. And I started training with him. So basically, I took up triathlon because my husband's game takes 3, 4 hours.
Sure,
He spent 4
sure.
hours in the golf course. And I was like, I need something to keep me busy.
Yeah.
So I took up the sport, and it was a journey. That's a different journey altogether.
So, Kirti, that's very interesting. I'm sure you started off, started looking at it as something where, you had to spend your time, and then obviously you must have been feeling lonely, and so you chose this. But eventually, like deep in your heart, did you start seeing this this Iron Man as an emotional survival technique for you? Can you say that?
So I wouldn't call it a survival technique. It's something which is very it's something deep. So when you are training for a triathlon, you have different workouts every day, right? And you have long workouts. There are some
Mm-hmm.
long sessions. You'll have, interval sessions, which will be a little shorter. Then you'll have these long base runs and
Mm-hmm.
base bike sessions and base swim sessions, which take hours.
Correct, correct.
Um, and every session is different. Every set you at today I might be at my 100% and I'll enjoy the session. But
Yeah.
there will be a day tomorrow where I'm not feeling up to it, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to enjoy it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a low. When I do it, I feel, why am I even doing the
Oh,
sport? I'm
okay.
not I'm not
Mm-hmm.
good enough.
Correct.
But it's a cycle of highs and lows and highs and lows. And that's how life is, right? It's
Right.
not going to be constant. So it taught me that, okay, I might have a great workout day and I might have a bad workout day. And so is life. But you have to always remember that when you're in a low phase, that,
Mhm.
just hang it there, there is going to be a high after this.
Yeah, this is what
And
I was going to ask you too. Like on
yes.
days when you were low, what were you telling yourself to still keep you motivated?
So it's just that after every low, there is a high that is going to come. So you have to just wait through and just know that it's coming and it's going to be there. And that is something that I've started seeing in life as well.
Right.
And since it's an endurance sport, I just feel life is also endurance. You have to just,
Endurance. Yeah. Very true.
enjoy it,
Yeah.
enjoy it. And till now, all the races that I have done not as many races as, big triathletes do. I'm a very beginner triathlete.
Mhm.
And, but,
No,
I
that's
have
not
made
how
it a
I
point
see it.
to
Go ahead, please. That's
I
not how
have just made it a point to enjoy each race. It's not about the numbers, it's not
it's
about the
not about
timing,
them.
it's about enjoying that race because all the work that you do is the hard work that you've put in, and that day is just to celebrate, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
I just go have fun, while I'm running, while I'm cycling, I try and cheer people up on the way,
Nice.
and take in all the good wishes that are coming. And
Mhm.
I know that for majority of my races, I have gotten in touch with you
Mhm.
one day prior to the race, where you give me all the positive energy, and
No, I think
it
I've
seems amazing.
always just reflected your inner self. I don't think I was doing anything extra. I was just trying to tell you what you felt about yourself because it was always your body language which pretty much reflected that you wanted to do this. That's all. But no, thank you so much for acknowledging this, Kirti. I mean, this is again reflecting your that you're a person who chooses to show gratitude towards everything in life. Um, but interestingly, Kirti, you know, so many people really they wait to kind of feel better before acting onto something like this, right? Like you said, like you were still feeling lonely, and then your husband was choosing a different sport. But you acted so that you could feel better, if I may say, right? Um, like you were still not in the best space when you entered into it, right? To get into an endurance race, this is not just fun activity. This is not just, another leisure walk for you. This is, I think, hours of training and motivating yourself. So, do you see that sometimes when you have to handle a challenging situation, taking up a challenge which kind of gives you that adrenaline rush and which makes you feel victorious is also a good strategy to deal with life? Is that
I would
something you
definitely
can say?
say yes. So,
Yeah,
taking up any sport, and I've seen this with women taking up sports. So, girls
yeah,
taking up sports, and then they, transition into becoming women. Women being in sports is very important because, I feel it gives women a sense of confidence. It makes them stand straight and, just be straight, have that confidence.
yeah.
You have that edge over others. You feel confident. You are
Taking control of
at a
your
better
life.
mental space.
Were you
Pardon?
you you feel like you were taking control of your own life through
Yes, you
this?
just felt, that life is so much more. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Just be there. So, yes,
yeah.
sports gives you a lot of confidence. And I think when you get that confidence, for me, I feel the void that I had, a missing identity,
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
probably did not get that identity, but I got the confidence that came along with it.
Correct. Agreed, agreed.
Right? And I feel girls should take up sports, should take up physical activities. It is something that really turns, makes things so much better.
Yeah, I'm
It
sure.
makes things really better. Yeah.
No, I'm sure. And then when it comes to when you finally you cross that finish line, what was that moment? Just give me that, a quick flash of that moment. How did it feel? What was running in your mind at that time? Like when you were able to finally complete it. It's not easy, by the
So
way.
I really enjoyed my race.
I can't even imagine. I'm telling you, I can't
So
even
I still
imagine.
remember my coach, I was like with him before my race one day prior to the race. And I was like, you have to tell me like, the strategy and everything, like, how much effort am I putting in the swim, how much effort on the bike, how much effort on the run. Please tell me. I was quite scared. And he just told me that it's your first 70.3 race.
Wow.
Just go enjoy because this race is not going to come back again. You'll have
Correct.
multiple races in the future, but your first race is not going to come back.
Not not
So
coming
my
back.
entire aim during that race was just to have fun.
Okay.
So I remember coming out of the swim. I went into the swim. Swim was good. I went onto the bike and I was just hoping that there is no flat tire. And
Mm-hmm.
then, and during the swim, I was like, I hope no jellyfish
I
stings me.
know, I remember you telling me that.
And then, throughout the bike, I was like, no flat tire, no flat tire. I didn't even carry a, kit to
Oh, wow.
fix a flat tire if I have one because I was like, I just don't want to manifest anything negative for this race.
Anything negative,
And then
correct.
I remember, like, while I was in the run, I was like, no cramping because I was seeing so many people cramp up. I was like, no cramping, no cramping. And I think all throughout the race, I was just, trying to smile. So till the bike, I was like in good condition. The run was tough with the heat and everything, but um, when I was on the run and when I came to the and I saw and I started asking the aid stations that kitna aur dur hai,
Oh,
and they were
okay.
like just 1 kilometer. And after 1 kilometer, I was like, yeah, it's still
अभी
not
नहीं है,
over.
it is not completed. अभी तक
It's
नहीं,
not
हाँ,
over.
correct.
And then
हाँ.
they were like, just 500 more meters, and then I would run for 500 more meters, and I would check my watch, and I'm like, it's not done.
So ये लोग, these
So
people were dodging you, were they just to be motivating enough?
yeah, it was just the motivation thing. And then finally, when I got, so you get three bands. So
हाँ.
after every 7 kilometers, you get one band. And when I saw that third band, that I'm getting that band, I was like, okay, my race is now over. And I just felt so good finishing it because I was supposed to actually do this race in 2024. But I'd
Okay.
fallen a little ill, and then my dog passed away, and a lot of things were going on at that point of time. And I couldn't really concentrate on at that point of time. This was not a priority. Like I had trained for it, but so many other things were going on. So basically, I had to delay this race by a year,
Oh, by a year,
and I
wow.
feel yeah, by a year, and but it was worth it. Every
I'm
single
sure.
training session was worth the race because after the race I didn't feel the fatigue because I was so happy and the training was so good that you didn't feel tired after doing. I finished it in 7 hours 36 minutes, but it didn't feel tiring at that point of time.
That's quite interesting, honestly. Like for a person like me, imagining running for like not just running, swimming also, and then cycling also for like 7 hours straight is, I mean, the thought of itself just fatigues me, and you just finished it and accomplished it. No, that's great. But like when you like after finishing up the Ironman, right? Um, do you now see yourself differently, or like how do you see yourself today?
Oh, I
Like,
just feel it's the same because, again, being in this sport, being a part of the triathlon community, it just becomes a lifestyle. So you're not defined by that one event.
correct.
Like, that's just a celebration that you go to. Like it's like a party that somebody wants, who loves partying attends, or somebody who's very social attends a party. It's
Yeah.
it's the same.
It's just
It's a
you've added
lifestyle.
to your club of friends now. Some nice,
Yeah,
more like
yeah.
better
It's
friends.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
just like that. But it's the journey of the training days that actually, define that particular day.
define that
And I
moment.
would
Correct.
choose those training days over the event any day because it gives so much of definition to your life. It gives a purpose. And as I said, it's a lifestyle.
It is. It indeed is. And like I'm sure, like were there days when you just chose, like when you the thought of quitting also came in your mind? I'm
A
sure
lot
it
of times, like,
was.
there were n number of days where I felt, why am I even doing this? Is it
Right,
healthy?
right,
Right?
right. Is
And
it
you
healthy?
ask
Wow.
yourself this question, is it healthy for you to
Mm-hmm,
do this? Is it okay for my body?
mm-hmm.
But at every point of time, I felt and now after doing it, I feel yes, it's healthy for you,
I'm sure
provided you do not obsess over it.
you don't know.
So it
And then
cannot be race after race. It has to be a gap. You have to let go. You have to wait for yourself to recover. You
recover.
know,
Correct.
recover. You cannot be married to the numbers, as my coach always calls it, married to the numbers. You
Number.
cannot be married to the numbers. You have
Because
to let go. You have to enjoy. And if you
yeah,
feel your body's under stress and strain, it's okay. Take it easy.
it's
Skip
okay.
the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Do it a little later. Do it
I
few months down the line.
Yeah, because the whole point of you, like, if you just, understand the whole point of when you got into it, the whole intent was to feel liberated and not feel
Right.
trapped, right? And
Right.
today, if we start trapping ourselves in the numbers, then I think it's no different from any other life challenge.
Right. Yeah.
So then you're not in control, right?
True.
But when you are in control of your life, you get to decide whether you're going to do it or you don't want to do it, or you just want to enjoy it, or you want to complete it or not complete it, right? No,
Right.
that's fabulous. I think these are such amazing words. Kirti, for the viewers out here and for the wonderful women and I'm sure men too. If someone struggling with depression or an emotional burnout, if I may say, what is that one gentle, like realistic first step that you'd suggest to everyone?
So depression, anxiety, it's very different for each person. And a lot of people when I was going through it would tell me things, but it wouldn't work for me.
Workplace, yeah,
It won't work for me. Some people would just tell me, just try this, see somebody else's life. It's not as good as your life. You're
correct.
way better than. But at that point of time, it doesn't
It
really
doesn't process. It doesn't
help.
process.
But the one thing that I would tell anybody, and if somebody is listening to this and it's reaching them, is just know that there is something inside you that is going to heal you. You just have to look within yourself and you will find it. There is an answer to it.
I so agree to it. I so agree to it.
So, because
I
I might say something like, that you should do this, or you should do that. It doesn't work. Dogs worked for me, may not work for everyone else. Triathlon worked for me, may not work for everyone else. It may be something very different, but you have to just look at it, that you have to look within yourself to
yeah,
find that spark, and
yeah.
that spark is going to just light up your entire life, and that's going to happen for sure.
No, I agree. The theories might just be very different from everyone. Few dogs worked. For someone, just maybe running works. For someone, this
Right.
retail therapy, people go out shopping.
Yeah.
They just feel like they feel liberated. So different things might work for different people. But what I see as, a very common, something which is very common across everyone who's struggling is to look inwards. I think it all begins from looking inwards. If you're looking inside, you'll be able to find. But if you don't even choose to look inwards and all you're doing is watching TV and just ignoring the,
Yeah.
yourself and your mind, then I don't think it can work.
And
No,
giving
that's
really helps. Like I feel service towards anything really helps. Like if it's service towards animals, it's service towards people, it's service towards anything. It
I know.
helps.
I know. That just makes me. I agree. It makes me so emotional. I think because I'm also attached to animals. I feel like they really need our service, and I think I have to like bring you again one day and talk about like how we should like at
100%.
least do our bit to
Bit.
to help animals because they really need us so much more than anyone else. I think they really need us. I mean, the kids and animals, I think they both need us. Now that I'm a mom, I also add kids but animals also, but that's a topic for another day. I think
Right.
this has been amazing, Kirti. Let's just, I want to like now skip on to a fun section of the
Yeah.
podcast, which is a rapid fire. Okay,
Oh, wow.
this is gonna be
I'm excited.
just for fun. Okay, yeah, just for fun. Whatever first word
Yeah.
comes into your mind, just let me know. Okay. All right. Now, one word to describe finishing the Ironman.
Liberating.
Lovely. Okay. Music or silence during long runs?
Music.
Okay. The toughest disciplines, swimming, cycling, or running?
Running.
Oh,
For
is it?
me, it's running. I have to work on my running this year. Like that's a thing that I've set up
I
for
think I'll
the
have to work on
coming
all three.
2026.
I can't imagine any of them if ever I get into something like this. But yeah. Okay. One habit Ironman taught you for life.
Enjoy all your sessions. A habit, no, this is like a feeling. A habit that it taught me is um, stay balanced.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, be balanced about your work. Like, don't overdo it. Don't just let it go. Just
Yeah.
be there.
Agreed. A food that became your best friend during training.
Food that became bananas.
Can I also say water? Sure,
Yeah,
I'm sure
water.
you
Hydration is important. Yes, salt,
right.
water,
No, no, but you
carbs.
get a lot of electrolytes from I think
Yeah,
banana is a full pack. It's water,
yeah.
everything. Okay, early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Okay. One thing you're proud of today, and you cannot skip this question. No being humble now. Just what are you proud of? I want you to speak.
I am proud of a lot of things.
Yes,
I'm
good.
just
I love it.
proud of the fact that I'm on this podcast today.
Hey, well, I am proud of the fact that I have you on my podcast. That's an answer which I give. You tell me now. One more thing you're proud of today.
I'm proud of the fact that I'm happy and I'm here. Like, I'm happy.
I agree. One thing I'm really proud of you also. I want to take this quick moment and say this to you that I feel like I'm so proud of the fact that in situations like the ones which you've gone through, facing depression, people generally become victims, but you still chose winner mentality. And that is what I'm so proud of because it's not easy to stay a winner when you're facing challenges. And so, my friend, my beautiful sister, I am so proud of you because you're a winner for life. No, seriously. Now, after this wonderful rapid fire, I have another fun section for you, which almost is the wrap up section. This is the flip the vibe section. Now, here, Kirti, you get to become, the host for one question and ask me, like, you can just ask me whatever you feel like. And, just for fun, we can have a nice question out answer session, but that's just for one question. Go ahead.
One question. I have so many questions to ask you, but
By the way, this wonderful lady also has a wonderful podcast. So, I'm going to be
we
this.
will have a lot of flipping the questions happening soon.
No, but like I am, I feel great that you get to ask me a question because it's such a good feeling. All right, go for it.
Okay, so I should give this thought. Mm.
I thought. Don't take it too seriously,
It's
all
just
right?
one question, right? So I have to like
Question.
okay, so if I as a you like everybody, your audience sees you as a podcast host, but I want to know what does your routine look like? Because one thing that I really know about you is that you live a very holistic life,
I
and
do.
it's something that I have so much to take in from your life into my life and incorporate it into my life. Like there are small things that when we've had phone calls, you've told me that this really works, and for me it's really worked.
Yeah, oh sweet. That
And
sounds sweet of you.
okay, if you like, I think taking us through your routine is going to be like very long, but I really want to know what is the secret behind your glowing skin.
Good filter, good light.
No, no, no. You have absolute, like, I have seen you in all sort of lights, but your skin is skinning.
Ah, so sweet of you to say that. Thank you. Kirti,
And since you are a very holistic person, I think this one thing a lot of women would like to hear, some men too, but I want to know.
no, thank you. Thank you so much for this question, Kirti. You know, if I just have to answer it in one line before obviously, talking about the details of it, um, I think I love my life. I am a lover of the fact that I am blessed, and I think everyone should be. That, you have been blessed with a body which is functional. You get to see the world with these eyes. Not everyone is blessed. So I think I am a huge believer of expressing gratitude towards everything which we may or may not have been deserving. Um, but we got it because God was gracious. So I think that's my first point, and the reason I bring it is because I feel like this is my entire motivation to do everything from scratch. Like I am a literal purane zamane ki lady. As much as I look modern in my clothes, I think I just follow my ancestors, how they were. When when there were times when they didn't even have these. Now we have these modern gas and everything in our house. But there were times that wo log, they used to go and pick up firewood and then just burn it every day, and take care of their grains and everything. So I feel like the best thing that I offer to myself is starting off or preparing everything from scratch. If even if it is adopting, millets, something like millets in my regular routine, I would make it a point to soak them every night and blend them and ferment them before I start off those things. And I do understand that it is time consuming, but I also feel like something which has been blessed, which I've been given by God, if I don't take care of that, then I think God possibly might just feel that he's kind of mistaken, or he's chosen the wrong person to give this full body to. So that is one thing. And when it comes to the glowing skin part, necessarily or precisely, I think less use of cosmetics and more use of natural things. I'll be honest, I might sound very different from a lot of people, but believe it or not, right now I have no cosmetic on. I promise, and I'm not making this up. And the reason is very simple. I think we very much believe that you need a lot of layers on your skin, and you stop believing that your own skin is great. And I can assure you that you're not wearing any cosmetic too at this point of time.
I'm
Something
wearing a little bit of on the eye. That's it.
That's okay. That's okay. That's just size, but your skin is glowing beautifully, right? It's just that inner belief, right? So, and then, that just keeps you on, and, it just, you can use normal oils. You've got coconut oil, you've got castor oil, there's beauty, there's shea butter, there are things like that, right? But
Mm.
then in the end, it's about what you eat, what is
Yeah,
going inside your body, and whether you're exercising, and what is your mindset like. That's
mindset.
also very important, showing gratitude towards everything in life. So I think these three things really contribute: my lifestyle, my mindset, and what I'm eating.
Thank you
That's,
so much. That's such a
thank you so much for asking me that. I think I feel like I can go hours and hours talking about these things
I
because
know, right?
I'm not. But I
This is
think
really fun.
we're going to have another session because today you're the guest. I am not. Okay. All right. No, great, Kirti. Before we really close this off, one final time, say, just one or two more lines for our wonderful audience out there so that they feel more inspired and motivated to be connected with people like you and to, follow people like you. What is it that you want to say to my lovely
So
people out
I'm just going to tell everyone like what I have learned from my triathlon journey is that there are going to be lows and there are going to be highs. So ride the lows and enjoy the highs, and then
there?
ride the
Yes.
lows and enjoy the highs,
Enjoy that.
and have gratitude.
Yeah.
When you have gratitude, you just feel happier. You
Yeah.
are grateful and you feel happy, and try and connect with nature as much as you can because it's great.
I agree. I agree.
Connecting with nature
100%.
and connecting with animals. It's just who we are as a species. We should be with nature and with animals, and that really helps.
I really have to do another podcast with you, another session with you where we just talk about animals. I think I can just endlessly ask you questions about them and just hear what you think about animals. I think they're so beautiful.
Right.
But no, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Kirti, for sharing your journey so honestly, and your story. Absolutely reminds us that healing isn't loud. It's sometimes very quiet and repetitive, but at the same time incredibly brave. So, on this note, I'd like to wrap up this session and say a big thank you and a big, big, big hug to the wonderful two little, you have a girl and a boy, right?
Yeah.
Scooby and
Doobie.
Doobie.
Doobies.
Doobie out there, okay? So, my love to these um, wonderful creatures out there, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
You take care. Bye bye.